Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Producer Jeremy, I know, once again behind the scenes for you guys, wearing some Dallas Stars gear today because Jeremy suddenly cares about hockey once again. We'll have some fun on today's show, I promise you. The first question of the day, maybe it's a more of a philosophical one. Do you still believe in Jalen Tolbert, the third-round pick last year who had almost as many offsides as he had catches for the Cowboys in his rookie year? Y for yes, N for no. Go ahead and vote in the comment section.
A receiver in a smoky room, smell of wine and cheap perfume.
That's better than most of your other singing, I'll say. I've heard you try to hit some high notes. It's pretty bad. That one's much better.
Doing anything to roll the dice.
Okay, that's bad. That's bad. Please don't subject others to that. Please don't subject.
Some will win.
Do you still believe in Jalen Tolbert? Y for yes, N for no.
The Cowboys will lose.
Now you gotta stop.
Some are born to sing the blues.
Don't make us change your name to Stephen A. Chugs again on the graphics.
Anything to
Daniel
roll
says
the
no.
dice.
Ben Loving says hell nah. Tyler Madden says yes. Jeff Johnson says no.
TKG.
Y for yes, N for no. TKG says you're a Stars fan. Wow, Chugs, I thought you were going to be a Flyers fan.
Well, actually, I support the only true star in Texas, the Dallas Stars.
So, no, for starters. They're named after the Cowboys. We all know this. No, don't look it up. No need to look it up. Just take my word for it. They're named after the Cowboys. It's a fact.
The best star in Texas plays at the AAC, the Dallas Stars.
Wow, Lucas slander. Yes, from Andres Gonzalez.
One team
OG Rungtag says yes.
One team made the playoffs this year. The other team tanked. So,
thank you, Dallas. They're not going to get that first round pick this year. It's going to the next. I'm convinced of it. Sound off in the comment section for our question though. Y for yes, N for no. Costa Collin. I don't care where they started. They're named after the Cowboys. We all know that. We all know that. For Jalen Tolbert, do you still believe in him?
Do you?
There's a lot of. I'm not going to bail on him after 1 year, but it is troubling that this is a question that has more no's than yeses, and it's understandable why people are voting no. That was a bad first year. I think he was overwhelmed as a rookie. I'm hopeful that things look better moving forward, but tell you what, if he's overwhelmed again, we've seen Dallas be a little bit more willing to potentially move on from
Jeff said,
players.
"Why do you got this dude on your show?" Comic relief.
Yeah. Everyone has their jester. Jeremy's ours. All right, the pin poll, though, on today's show, over or under, and I know how everyone's going to vote, but over or under 13.5 sacks for Micah this year. This would be a career high. He's had 13, 13.5, which is an unbelievable start to a career. Over or under this year? 83% vote over. I'm a little surprised it's only 83% going over.
I'm going under.
I feel like everyone would have taken 15. Non-troll answer, how many does he get?
Well, the fact that
I have to specify non-trolls to make that clear.
The fact that he has to go up against Mailata and Johnson twice a year, that's going to take out 2 games out of his schedule that he can get a sack.
I asked for the non-troll answer, and I get Eagles homerism.
I would say probably around 12.5.
Okay. I mean, that's not like – that's still a really good year. Like, if I could promise you a player gets you 12 sacks every year, you're like, Hall of Famer, which is the path. 15.69. There we go.
Perfect.
14, 16.5. Lots of overs in there.
Seabass, another
Cash
day.
De Niro.
Another day, another DeAndre Hopkins trending link to Dallas.
I mean, again, they haven't shown interest. So I don't know what it was this time. I'm sure it was something not linked.
Spin zone. Micah Parsons adding 5 to 10 pounds this offseason, trying to. Going to be too slow, too sluggish coming off the edge.
Yeah. Because 5 pounds will drastically change him there.
Well, he didn't say of muscle. Maybe he just eats bad.
He actually did say lean muscle was what he was trying to add. Yeah, he actually specified the muscle, but some of the reporters were like, he's adding weight. They didn't specify what the weight was, but it's like 5 pounds. So that's how it goes. Super chat.
By reporters, you mean me.
You are a character actor, so, you know. Zeno saying, thank you, Zeno, $2. Hi, Jeremy. Who's more likely to win the division for the NFC East? I don't know why you asked this of Jeremy. We know what his answer is.
The curse.
Do you want to go on 3 with your answer? All right, count it down.
1, 2, 3.
Commanders.
Eagles.
No, he's going Eagles.
It'll be the Eagles. The curse will be broken.
Now the curse isn't real. It's real. It's been real every other year. Now it's not.
Well, last year the curse was 100% real. This year,
it's fake.
It's not.
It's fake. Yeah, I see.
It's not even real.
No, I think if we're being honest, we're in most agreement of like the percentages when you're not being troll Jeremy. It's like 40% Eagles, 35% Cowboys, maybe 30% Cowboys, and then most of the remaining percentage goes to the Giants and like 2% to the Commanders because we just don't believe in them. So, Zeno, thank you very much for that super chat. Greatly appreciate it there,
also,
my friend.
Lance Dunbar's burner, I did not get my toes done this weekend.
Oh, yeah, we're still doing that, huh? Okay, that's fine.
Well, you asked.
It's a weird thing to ask about there. So, next up, we will talk about Dalvin Cook on today's show since we are once again doing that, which I have thoughts on this. We'll get to it near the top of the show. People got again. Y'all got to be smarter out there on social media. You got to be smarter, especially with the way that the Twitter blue checkmark works now. You got to be careful. At least look at the handle. But if in the event Dalvin Cook becomes available, would you sign him? S for sign, P for pass. Sound off in the comments section. If the Eagles needed a running back, which at this point they don't.
Yeah.
But if they needed one, let's say they hadn't traded for DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
Would you want to get Dalvin Cook on Philadelphia? Because I think that's similar-ish perspectives for where Dallas is at.
Yeah. I would say yes, depending on Bob Barker if the price is right.
Ah, okay.
$1.
Good answer. It's always about the price tag.
I would, especially if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you don't know if Tony Pollard is going to be able to bounce back from that gruesome injury. He might be a shell of himself this season. You got to go out and grab Dalvin Cook.
You can't have serious conversations with Jeremy sometimes.
No, but
I just want to talk ball one day with you.
No, but for I would. I mean, especially if you need somebody to not be lead back. If you're looking for a 1-2 punch type situation, I think he'd be a good back.
I think if you keep him in a rotation, it's fine. Signs of decline there are already beginning to show for Dalvin Cook. More on that later on in today's show. But a super chat, $5. Zeno saying once again, do the Cowboys do Ezekiel Elliott with what the Steelers did? Was Jerome Bettis and put him at fullback? It shocks me how Zeke's not been signed. Well, the bus didn't play fullback for Pittsburgh. He was just the short yardage back, which I think could still be Zeke's role. But I am not that surprised that Zeke's unsigned. He wasn't good the past couple of years. And I see people try to claim, there were injuries. Yes. At his workload, there will always be injuries. Those aren't going to suddenly just I see people think, fluke injuries. No. There were not fluke injuries.
You drank that water in Cancun, it never was the same.
It's just that interesting. It's interesting. Back to the Dalvin Cook, S for sign, P for pass. Looked like mostly passes in there. Some signs, but I think the passes won it from that perspective, which I find quite interesting. Speaking of running backs, by the way, Emmitt Smith. I almost fell for my own Cowboys Legends bit, which he does not apply to because he's too good. The greatest running back in NFL history turns 54 today.
Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, greatest running back in NFL history. No one has more yards. Longevity matters. It's a skill. Type HBD in the comment section for Emmitt Smith's 54th birthday for number 22. What are you sipping on over there, Jeremy?
An Uptime.
I don't know what that is.
I drink it in my downtime.
Not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor.
They're not.
No free ads. Everyone type HBD in the comment section. Throw an HBD 22 like Jeff Johnson, Madden Field.
For a decent running back, type in HBD.
See, you don't believe that.
He's good. He's good.
Come on. He's a Hall of Famer. Even if he's not number 1, he's like number 4 or 5.
You know who else is a Hall of Famer? Joe Namath. Who has 102 more interceptions than he does touchdowns.
It's not the stat I gave you this morning. It's 50 more interceptions than touchdowns. Real stat, by the way. So type HBD. I'll give some shout-outs here. Zeno, DeLunatic, David, G Sound is in there. Jimmy Walls, Novu, Daniel, Caustic, Michael.
You think he's better than Deion Sanders?
Deion's my all-time favorite player, so I will always take Deion over everybody. Even if it's like the correct answer or not, I'm taking Deion over everybody.
Interesting.
So, like,
Interesting.
Should I take Tom Brady over Deion? No, I'm not doing it. Don't care. Deion. DK's in there. Chooch is in there. Cash De Niro, Duncan Hamilton, Warren Peace.
I disagree.
With what?
Emmett is better than every Eagle running back ever.
Who's the better Eagle RB in history? Take some time to think about it, because the Philadelphia position isn't exactly loaded with great backs.
I've got two off the top of the dome.
Okay.
Brian Westbrook, LaShawn McCoy.
This is not even a conversation. You could combine
how many receiving yards does Emmitt Smith have?
I don't care. How many rushing yards do those two have
How many receiving yards does he have?
Top of my head, I have no idea.
For that many years?
For the age he played in, when they actually just ran the football a lot?
I'm just saying.
Regina Green said Jalen Hurts. Pretty funny. All right. Type the HBDs in the comment section. It is Emmitt Smith's birthday, the legend, who, by the way, he wouldn't seek back on the Cowboys pretty bad. Because he's a running back. He's always going to stand for backs.
I mean, from one okay running back to another.
I honestly, I walked myself into that one. Daniel Darnell was correct in the comment section.
What? What did he say?
You can see. In the meantime, folks.
We have another super chat.
We do have another super chat here. From Dallas in D.C., $5. Thank you, my friend. If you were a GM on the hot seat, which trade would you make for the boys? Dalvin Cook or Isaiah Simmons?
Do you think he's asking you or me?
I think me.
Okay, go ahead.
If you want to answer it quickly, you can too, Jeremy.
Isaiah Simmons.
I agree.
Now you go.
It's Isaiah Simmons because running backs don't put you over the top. Hasn't happened since Emmett. That was the last time a running back put a team over the top. That was a very, very, very long time ago, and the game has changed drastically.
And you needed an amazing offensive line.
Exactly. I don't think either guy is necessarily putting you over the top, but I'd rather get Isaiah Simmons, who's younger and I think has more upside long term too. I think Dalvin Cook's got 2 years left, if that. The decline is there. Now, we are just a couple likes away from 50 likes, which is a low number. Can we get to 100?
Can we get to 69?
Jeremy, bonk. You're out here acting like Coop is on Instagram.
Oh, God.
Only me and you get that joke, but it's funny. Like the video, and we'll get today's show started. It's not the first video of the day.
What is this burner for you? What is this new name for a burner?
I don't know. It looks
3-inch Tom Downey burner? What is that?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
It looks like there's also a new profile picture in that one, too. I assume it's just the same burner who's been in there before. I know who his profile picture is. It's pretty funny. That's another Cowboys media guy. That's funny. That's really funny. I think he's also pretending to be me in the comment section, which is great. That's funny. It's very funny. I also like Brent Workman's profile picture in there, which is F. Marshy. So, like the video. We're at 55 likes right now. It means the vast majority of you guys have not yet liked today's show. Oh, let's change that. Let's change that.
As soon as we hit 69 likes, I'll be quiet.
You heard it from Jeremy. He'll shut up. No more. Jeremy will shut up if we get to 69 likes. This might be the greatest like driver in Cowboys Report history.
We're at 67.
We're there. We're at 69.
Last thing. Emmitt Smith, 3,224 receiving yards. Brian Westbrook, 3,900. He's better. I'm done.
We got Jeremy to shut up. Everyone type F-Chugs in the comment section. Let's get in then to today's show. Some Cowboys rumors and news on tap for you guys. Also some trade rumors, some of which are a bit more credible than others, but we'll break them all down for you. A Cowboys mailbag as well. I think Zeno Sayan and Dallas and DC's last two Super Chats are perfect for the mailbag. Any others? Super Chat now, or just use hashtag Cowboys in the comment section to get your questions in the queue. Make note, you're at the mercy of producer Jeremy to bring your questions up on screen, who claims that if you type in F-Chugs, he won't bring you up, but he actually enjoys that because he enjoys being hated on. That's what gives him a thrill. It absolutely is there. At the end of today's show, we'll also break down some Cowboys trade candidates for you guys. By the way, at the end of the show, if you haven't already watched our rookie minicamp winners and losers video that went out earlier this morning, make sure you do so. It's been a very popular video like it is every year. I enjoy doing it. That's all coming up live here on the Cowboys Report. Remember to like that video. We're just a few likes away from 100. The sooner we get there, the better as well. We'll also keep Jeremy quiet as we do the live show right here on the Cowboys Report. Today's Cowboys Report is presented by Kinzuri. Tired of feeling insecure about your height? Kinzuri makes shoes and up to 2.8 inches to your height discreetly. Get 15% off on top of their up to 30% sale at kinzuri.com/chat when you use promo code chat. We're breaking down the latest Cowboys rumors and news on today's show. We begin with that's a fairly juicy one. It's on Dalvin Cook, as multiple Cowboys outlets have explored adding Dalvin Cook if he's cut by the Vikings. There's one big but involved here in terms of the feasibility of the immediate release, but there have been rumors really for months now, since the year ended, around the Vikings possibly cutting or trading Dalvin Cook. You know, they re-signed Alexander Mattison. They drafted another running back. The numbers don't add up there, and they'd save most of his $11 million salary in the event they were to cut him. Now, the problem here is a couple of days ago, Justin Cohen tweeted this out. Per source, I'm told for stalled trade conversations, the Vikings have told Dalvin Cook he'll be released following the June 1st designation, blah, blah, blah. Two big issues here. Number one, and this is the biggest, why are we falling for the bad boy of scoops? This got picked up by a lot of different media outlets and treated as an actual report. This is not. This is a parody bit troll account who got multiple different Cowboys reporters off sides for a fake tweet. Now, look, Dalvin Cook could be cut. That has been a possibility for a while. But we can't be treating the bad boy of scoops as a real source. That's not what this is. And trade's not going to happen because of the contract for Dalvin Cook, by the way. In the event he is released, there are concerns. Look at the yards per carry. 5.1 is elite. That is about as good as you're going to find on a 300 carry sample size. Historically, though, the fall off after 300 carry seasons is significant, and that is exactly what we saw the past 2 years. Dalvin Cook 4.7, still good. 4.4, it's not bad. It's solid, but it's a trend. It is a trend of 0.3 or 0.4 yards per carry dropping off each year. I am concerned, given the workload, given the contract, given the overall value, that Dalvin Cook's numbers are going to continue to regress. Rushing yards over expected. This is on a per carry basis. It's a next-gen stat. 0.81, awesome. You're averaging almost a full yard better than what you're supposed to be. That means you're breaking tackles, finding creases, getting more than what is blocked for you. 0.34, that's still solid. It's above average. Minus 0.16 was pretty much a career low for Dalvin Cook. All of these things scream regression, not what he was in his prime. So I'll go some more on Dalvin Cook here, but I want to hear from you guys first in the comments section. Would you sign Dalvin Cook in the event he's cut? S for sign, P for pass. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. S for sign, P for pass. If it's the old cheap one-year deal, sure, I've got some interest in there. If he wants to take that $11 million base salary, play for like 3 or 4, I can get on board with that. I do not expect prime Dalvin Cook. I don't think you're going to get that guy. But if I can get 4.2 yards per carry-ish on a $3 million deal and lighten the workload for Tony Pollard and feel just more confident in my running back room, I'm open to that. But I'm not paying him $11 million per year, and I'm not guaranteeing him a bunch of long-term stuff because I am concerned that Dalvin Cook, the player, is simply not what he once was. Today's Cowboys Report is presented by Kinzuri. If you're tired of feeling a bit insecure about your height, we have some short kings here at the Chat Sports office, like Jeremy, for example. Kinzuri makes shoes that add to 2.8 inches to your height discreetly. Women get heels, makeup, push-up bras, and men deserve a confidence boost too. Kinzuri is not only height boosting, but stylish and comfortable. I love the next ones coming up on screen, by the way. These just look fresh to me. These are not Grandpa's ugly Velcro shoes. They are fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. Perfect dress shoes, by the way. If you're at a wedding and you want to have some game there, yeah, exactly. Deuce Vaughn, perfect for Kinzuris. The height insoles are built into the shoes, making them the ultimate height hack. For a limited time, Kinzuri is offering you guys an exclusive discount of 15% on top of up to 30% site-wide discount. Use code CHAT at kinzuri.com/ to get the 45% off. Upgrade your shoe game and boost your confidence at CONZURI.com/chat. Links in the comment section and in the description of today's show. Micah Parsons next up here after we're having the same conversation we had, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, but now we got Dan Quinn chiming in with exactly what we had said in the past. Dan Quinn at the rookie minicamp was trying to clarify Micah's role and what Micah had said versus what had been reported, etc. What Micah said was he wanted to add a few pounds to hold up better at defensive end, and that got shifted into, oh, he's playing defensive end full time, which he kind of already was. Here's what Dan Quinn had to say. He's a pass-rushing linebacker. If you ever need position changes, come to me. What I think he was probably trying to say is, I'm really emphasizing some pass rush into my offseason, which is true. Parsons' role hasn't actually changed. It's what it was last year. The Cowboys kind of lucked into this, where they drafted him as a linebacker first, and like, wow, he's actually a great passer. Let's do more of that. His role is still going to be roughly, give or take, plus or minus injuries, situations, whatever, be about 80% at defensive end. He'll still get to stand up. He'll still get moved around, but his value comes from being a pass rusher. That is where he maximizes his ability. It's not dropping into coverage or even just being a normal run stopper. It's getting after the quarterback. And by the way, this is not new. This is what his role was in the past. The concern was, he kind of wore down a little bit last year. That's the whole goal of adding the 5 to 7 pounds. That's the purpose. He's not going to suddenly not be moved around anymore, but he's also going to continue to be utilized as a predominant pass rusher because that's where he's great at. That's why the over-under is 13.5 sacks. That's his career high. Will he break it or come in just under it? O for over, U for under. What's your sack prediction for Micah Parsons? Go ahead and sound off for us in the comment section of today's show. O for over or U for under. You can sound off right now. Let's move to kicker here as special teams coach John Fossil says the Cowboys are still looking for competition at the kicker position, which is a bit of a, well, duh. I don't think anyone here, media, fans, casual observers, really believe that Tristan Vizcaino is the long-term option, even though he's on the roster, which kind of makes him the most overlooked man on the team. But this is exactly what John Fossil had to say. Well, we've got Tristan on the roster. I think anybody else on earth who's not on the team right now is under consideration. Anybody bringing here has got to compete with Tristan. Man, the entire planet Earth is under consideration. Now, that is not a vote of confidence in the current kicker. Even Jeremy, yeah, I guess technically you're under consideration too. Now, Fossil did mention 4 vets. That was Robbie Gould, Mason Crosby, Ryan Suckup as well. Also kind of left the door open a little bit for Brett Maher, but I think the ownership has maybe more closed the door on that front there. And the comment was really more of, we know who the vets are. So not like these are the only things they looked at, but those are the 3 biggest names that are out there that have been looked at in the end. It's not a surprise. The Cowboys have to get a kicker. We all know. It's a matter of when, not if, they add a kicker. I would assume it comes more through the veteran market there. What I don't want this team to do is panic. I don't want them to make a panic, oh, we missed the kickers. 3 years, $5 million per year for Robbie Gould. Terrible idea. I think the Cowboys, even if maybe the individual results in that one playoff game against the Bucs haven't been what we wanted, I think they've handled the kicker spot the past calendar year perfectly well. They did not draft somebody. They signed a UDFA who they liked, who was bad. They cut him. They moved on. They found a cheap, very good option. They did not overcommit, overinvest into the kicker market. I think that is the proper path to go here. Whether it's, Robbie Gould's not the same guy. Mason Crosby's not the same guy. Maybe it's Ryan Suckup. Maybe they wait for Nick Folk to get cut. I don't think panic move is the right way to go about it, but I do have faith this team and Bones also can find a kicker in the right situation. So they'll add a kicker. Just don't panic and sign one immediately. What is this smirk about, Jeremy? You're just sitting there like...
Well, I'm just happy to be producing the Cowboys.
Oh, you got the 6 on line. You're supposed to shut up, by the way.
Huh?
What? Huh?
Oh,
there you go.
My bad.
It is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. So what are your top 3 cookie flavors? Go ahead and vote in the comment section. Jeremy is a cookie connoisseur of sorts. What are your top 3? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're allowed to speak now.
Okay. Top 3 cookie flavors. I can tell you this.
Uh-huh.
Most elite cookie out there, fast food option or like on the go, Chick-fil-A cookies. They're always warm, amazing. Best like quick cookie out there. If I'm going top 3, I mean chocolate chip has to, like chocolate chunk or chocolate chip, anything with like
I actually like chocolate
pieces.
chunk significantly more than chocolate chip.
Yeah.
Which is maybe a weird take, but
chocolate chunk is up there as a top 3 cookie flavor for me.
Brent Workman has put in white chocolate macadamia nut. I have had some fire like white chocolate raspberry cookies. So good.
Snickerdoodle.
Always a good
one.
I like that's what Michael says. He says warm snickerdoodle too.
I like peanut butter and chocolate chip cookies as well.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm a big fan of just peanut butter in general. Someone put in Oreos. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That counts. That counts.
I was just thinking like...
Gregory says Girl Scout mint.
I like that too.
I hate them.
You hate them?
I don't like them.
Do you like hate laughter and joy and stuff?
No,
or?
I just don't want my cookies tasting like toothpaste.
They don't.
Yes,
it's
they do.
Chocolate and mint together.
And it tastes like toothpaste. There ain't much chocolate coming through there.
You uncivilized...
Swine.
Exactly.
Oatmeal raisin freshly baked. Not a fan.
I like an oatmeal raisin, but to have it as one of your top 3, wild.
Gosh, the Colin Tom hates mint chocolate. He's dead to me. I've never been a fan.
So maybe a hot take. I think,
wait, why am I agreeing with the Eagles fan?
I think Subway cookies
They're good.
I think they're decent. I think they get overrated.
Okay.
People are like, oh, they're amazing. I mean, they're good. I'm telling you, Chick-fil-A, their chocolate chunk cookies, holy shit.
I see shortbread. I see sugar, chocolate chip, pecan.
Tom, give me 1 second. I have something for you to try.
Okay. I don't like where this is going. I'm very concerned right now. Lemon cookies from Fulbright TV, a.k.a. Chase's burner. Our guy Chase Sr. here has got a lemon cookie spot that he just loves. He goes crazy over them. Thank God he pulled it off. Everyone type in F Marshy in the comment section. Marshall just walked in here. The issue is, he knows how to make live stream work. So he might pull himself up there. Chocolate chip, peanut butter macadamia. What are these? F Marshy in the comment section. Yeah, get him out of here, Jeremy.
See you week 1, you frauds.
Yeah, imagine thinking yeah.
See you week 1, you frauds.
Get out of here,
Let's
Marshall.
Go Giants. We might
Get out of
sign
here.
Zeke.
Get out of here, Marshall.
We're signing Zeke today on Giants Live.
Oh, you can have him. I ain't scared.
The only thing worse than
What are these? Okay. No.
Are they good?
You don't get any cookies.
I think they
All right.
Fulbright TV's like, that hat does suck.
It's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, but I got these from Trader Joe's, some ube cookies.
What does that mean?
Ube is like a sweet potato. No, they're good. They're good. They're good. Trust me. Just try one. You can have this chocolate if you don't like it.
I'll try one.
We're all gonna try one.
Yeah.
They're purple ube cookies.
Smells like a,
Smells good. Gingerbread.
Ready? 3, 2.
They're pretty good.
I like those a lot. Those are good.
This is sweet potato.
I don't believe you.
Purple yam.
Those are really good.
Right?
Yeah,
Trader Joe's slaps.
they do.
They don't look to be much healthier, but.
I'm sure they're not. It's a cookie.
Alright, chill, guys.
I see chocolate chip is undefeated. Gingerbread is in there. Randall put an F Marshy.
So what is that even supposed to mean, Sam?
Christian, what is that crap that Jeremy has on? Show it off. It's a Dallas Stars polo.
Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars.
I don't know how you did it, but the first time your hand motion was not in sync with what you were saying. So it was like Dallas Stars. It just didn't look good there. So all right, get the comments in for the cookies. We'll move to our. I think I said Coke there. Not sure what I was doing.
the Coke.
Get the Coke in apparently. We'll get set up for our upcoming segment here. Break down some trade rumors.
See, Caustic said gingerbread. I'm not a gingerbread fan.
See, but he mentioned Christmas time in Germany. That's a great time to have gingerbread. Like in a summer in July, June? No. Christmas time? I'm definitely down with some gingerbread. Yeah,
Guys,
Christian. It's not an Eagles jersey.
Also, I do have to say, if you are at the Stars game tonight, look for me. I'll be there.
You'll be there. You'll be there.
I'm going to be on the Jumbotron chugging beer.
Other cookie answers here is chocolate chip, peanut butter, Monster.
Ooh. So there's different versions of it, but Monster's kind of like everything mixed in there. I've seen one that has like pretzels and potato chips in there.
Oh, okay. Now I know. Okay.
But also Monster could mean just like M&M and chocolate chip and stuff like that.
I don't know if I can shout out DK's comment, but raw cookie dough. I'm a fan. Cookie dough's delicious. Chocolate chip cookie dough is the best one, by the way.
I think it's good, but I would never buy a tub of raw cookie dough.
I mean, I wouldn't either. I just like
Like
eat a couple of the
the edible one.
yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh,
Like,
no.
If I'm making cookies and I just have leftover cookie dough.
Exactly.
Sure.
All right, let's get set up here for.
Cold?
Yes,
It is.
it is. We'll get set up for the next segment here on the Cowboys Report. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. If you want daily Cowboys videos, all preseason, regular season, off season, slow season, fast season, everything else in between, this is the right spot for you. Hit that sub button right now. Let's dive into some Cowboys trade rumors on today's show as things getting at least a little bit interesting out there on social media. Thanks to Quinnen Williams. He's pulling a page out of the classic playbook of changing your Twitter profile to indicate you really want a new contract or at least get the trade rumors going from that perspective. Quinnen, who I think is one of the best young, if not the best young defensive tackles in the NFL, changed his bio. Removed, and we'll show it to you in a minute, removed the Jets and put DT4 ... This is the Jeffrey Simmons did something kind of similar, although he did it earlier and no one really noticed of, you know what, contract talks aren't going the way you want. Time to get the social media buzz going by changing your profile. It's a little annoying, especially if that player's on your team, but it does work. Here's the new bio for Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle for a lot of dots. Very clear what he is inferring and implying from that perspective. It's, you know what, maybe it's not for the Jets. With that said, I would love to get Quinnen Williams in Dallas. I think the Jets would be astronomically stupid to not pay him. Quinnen Williams, again, like I mentioned, is one of the premier defensive tackles in the entire NFL. He's got a 12-sack season. 12 sacks defensive tackle is elite production. Former top 3 pick was kind of, sort of, briefly mentioned in the trade rumors a couple years ago. I think other teams call him the Jets. They were patient. The breakout finally came. He is a premier football player. And the cost is going to be a lot. And that's fine with me. If you want to extend Quinnen Williams, it should be more than what Jeffrey Simmons got. We have seen a massive run of high-paid defensive tackles in recent memory. Daron Payne, Dexter Lawrence, the nose guards getting $22.5. Jeffrey Simmons, more of a 3 technique, just like Quinnen is, getting $23.5 million. Jeffrey Simmons would cost a lot in a contract and an actual trade, the assets going back to the Jets, it would be a first and more at minimum. This might even be a Jalen Ramsey-esque package for a player of his capacity. I would do it in a heartbeat. I would probably move a first, more picks. I'd probably throw Oso to not because I don't like Oso, because I'm getting a better player in Quinnen Williams. Send those all to the Jets. I don't know why the Jets would do it. They have team control with Quinnen Williams next couple of years, and their whole thing right now is to win football games right now. You know, if you were to send Osa back, okay, cool, that might help them a little bit, but a future first doesn't help them when Aaron Rodgers only has a few years left at most. They are built to win now. They don't have the patience to sit around waiting. So I would love to get Quinnen Williams. My expectations and hopes are about as low as they could be because it just doesn't make sense for the other party involved. So with that in mind, today's pinned comment is this. Name a player who you want to trade for. Sound off in the comment section right now. A name I don't think we'll see that much of is Javon Kinlaw. Blogging the boys floated this idea out there. They suggested looking at a Javon Kinlaw trade, and this does fit off some of what I've called the Will McClay special. Former early round draft pick, hasn't lived expectations, gets a shot in Dallas. He's not that expensive. 2.72 is the salary owed. The real problem here is, even though I was a fan of what Javon Kinlaw offered coming out of South Carolina, I liked the traits. The Niners basically swapped him for DeForest Buckner. Oops. Despite what I liked about him as a prospect, he's been terrible. There's no way around it. Javon Kinlaw has been a bust for the 49ers. That doesn't mean things can change, but the player we've seen in San Francisco has simply not been good. I mean, to put it in perspective, Neville Gallimore has outplayed Javon Kinlaw. And we're talking about maybe cutting Neville Gallimore this offseason. All but one of his quarterback hits came back in his rookie year. Injuries, a massive factor in this, but who is he better than on this Cowboys roster? Osa's better. I actually feel a bit more confident in the floor of Chauncey Golston, maybe not the same ceiling. So I run into issues of just how confident I am in terms of giving up even a late day 3 pick for Kinlaw, because I don't know if he's going to end up being very good in the end. Folks, summer is here, and if you're not quite sure what to wear, whether it's at work or at home or just out and about, well, our new sponsor is here to help make that change and make your life easier. Bird Dogs. I'm hyped to have them as a sponsor here at the Cowboys Report. I wear them on the golf course, to meetings, in the office, out on dates with the wife, or hanging out with friends. It fits everything. Use promo code CHAT at birddogs.com, and they will give you a free Yeti-style tumbler with your first purchase. That link and promo code, by the way, will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Whether it is their shorts, important here in Dallas when things get a little bit hotter, or if you're maybe in a cooler climate, their pants, or if you just got to wear pants to work, whatever it is, their stretchy fabric makes them more comfortable than any shorts or pants out there. By the way, bit of a weird take from me here. My favorite part about them, beyond just the comfort and the fit, is the side pocket on this right here. Perfect for your wallet, so that when you sit down, you're not actually sitting on your wallet all day. It's just off to the side. It's perfect. Comfort is king, and Bird Dogs delivers in massive fashion. So use promo code CHAT, that's C-H-A-T, at birddogs.com. Again, that link's in the comment section and the description of today's show. They will give you a free Yeti-style tumbler with your purchase. Trust us, folks, you will not regret it. Happy to have Bird Dogs here as a sponsor at the Cowboys Report. Next up on the trade side of things, Isaiah Simmons. Blogging the Boys also mentioned him. This one is kind of in between Quinnen Williams, who I love, but it's not going to happen, and Javon Kinlaw, who I don't really want and maybe could happen from that perspective. Isaiah Simmons, I could see being moved, maybe not right now, but maybe closer to the trade deadline. The Cardinals are pretty clearly in a rebuilding stage. I think there's a great chance they have the number 1 overall pick and take a new quarterback and move on, blah, blah, blah. The Cardinals declined the 5th-year option of Isaiah Simmons. He's owed $3.15 million this year, then would be a free agent. And there have been flashes of the guy that I loved coming out of Clemson. Averaged about 100 tackles the past couple years. The TFL numbers have been pretty steady. The pass breakups steady, sacks jumped, but the in and outs of coverage have not been very good, which is disappointing because he was supposed to be a tight end eraser. And he was kind of a jack of all trades at Clemson, and I was convinced if you have a good defensive coordinator, they'll get the most out of him. Hasn't happened so far in Arizona. Simmons has not lived up to the hype. But if there's one or even among the top 3 defense coordinators I trust to maximize Isaiah Simmons, isn't that Dan Quinn? I mean, imagine Jaron Kearse and Isaiah Simmons on the field at the same time. He has the length, the athletic ability. I think you can still coach him up a little bit more to maximize him in that strong safety, linebacker, overhang, hybrid role. Arizona's trying to make him into a nickel corner last year. That didn't make any sense to me. I thought that was misuse because Arizona loves drafting linebackers and then using them weirdly. That's just what they do as an organization. I think Dan Quinn could maximize Isaiah Simmons. It's a matter of, you drafted DeMarvion Overshown to kind of do some similar things. You have Damone Clark. Do the Cowboys view linebacker as a big enough need to trade the assets it would likely cost? He's not going to be a 5th-round pick, I don't think. It'd probably be more of at least a 3rd, even come deadline time. So would you trade for Isaiah Simmons? Y for yes, N for no in the comments section. Sound off, speak your mind down there. One more trade name mentioned with the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't get this one off the top. So CBS Sports updated their top 10 trade candidates and continued to list Grover Stewart as a fit for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, 2 big issues here. Number 1, Grover Stewart, who was very good last year, don't get me wrong, is owed $9.63 million this year. It's a lot of money to pay for a good, but still only a nose guard. And the nose guard aspect is confusing to me because you just drafted a nose guard in the 1st round. You spent a premium draft pick, a 1st-round pick on Mozzie Smith to be your version of Grover Stewart. So why would you also trade for him? And you re-signed on Hankins. What it seems to me is that CBS Sports forgot to update the article and change and take the Cowboys off it because they're no longer a fit. But of these last 3 guys, since everyone would have put in Quinnen Williams otherwise. So I'd take him off the list. Of these 3 players, if you had to trade for one, who would it be? I think I know the answer for most, but it's your chance to vote. JK for Javon Kinlaw, GS for Grover Stewart, IS for Isaiah Simmons. If the Cowboys didn't add a defensive tackle at all, I would have been more intrigued by Grover Stewart. It still would have required a contract adjustment in some capacity because 70 tackles and 9 TFLs and 4 sacks is a lot for a nose. That is awesome production, and frankly, probably a bit of outlier production as well. But the Cowboys did draft a nose guard. They have Hankins. They have Mozzie Smith. They even have Quinton Bohanna on the roster still. So very weird to me to see CBS Sports just leave that in there as it's still a fit, but he's not. He's not a fit. It's like saying, the Jags took a receiver in round 1, or an offensive tackle in round 1. They should go trade for Jordan Williams still. No, they have somebody. It's not keeping up to date with what's happening in the NFL. It's frankly a bit disappointing from the CBS Sports side of things. All right, Jeremy, you're excited about this one. Confidence level in the Stars tonight. First off, thank God it's not a 9 p.m. puck drop time.
Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars.
1 to 100, how confident are you tonight?
I would say a 69.
Nice. Which goalie showed tonight for Unger? Is he good or bad?
He's been worse on the road. Better
Back
at home.
Okay.
But also this series, he's not.
He got benched a couple times. Or pulled, I should say.
He's been very up and down.
Yeah. Good version of him shows up. They should win.
Yeah. One, it's like
Kraken are good though.
A lot of sports. I mean, football not so much, but a lot of sports are like this, where it's like hockey, baseball, or hockey, basketball. Really, role players always play better at home. And I don't know. We'll see.
Fantasy Island says Stars by 2 goals. Daniel says 50-50 shot. People are now asking about Lakers Nugs.
Who you got?
I want to stand my boy Jamal Murray, top 5 NBA player, which has been a bit in the office for about 2 years now.
Purple Haze, give me the nugs. Give me the nugs.
That series is going 7, though. I have no doubts about it. Confidence level in the Stars there. A lot of Nuggets votes, though.
I'm really high on the nugs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good, Jeremy. That was good. That was good.
Oh, wait, what? Brandon said rain into Cooper Rush in Northern Illinois this weekend.
Did you get his autograph for Jeremy?
Dude, you see this smudge on this samurai sword? Cooper Rush.
I see 96 from Jeff C. Greg Turner says 70. Madden Field says .01. Brandon Montemayor says he did not. He was in a rush. But
oh,
that was
God.
great. That was great. All right, it's mailbag time.
If you see me at the game tonight, remember, you have to buy me a free beer. Those are the rules. If you see me at the game tonight, you must buy me a free beer if you're going to the Stars game.
I don't know how those are rules, but okay.
I don't make it up.
Yeah, you literally are.
I didn't make that up.
All right, folks, it is mailbag time here on the Cowboys Report. 2 ways to get on the show. Super Chat. Got a couple of those so far. We got my guys Dallas and DC and Zeno San doing it so far. Or just use #Cowboys. That gets you in the queue. So, Daniel, we see your question. Jeremy will pick and choose.
Let me see how many times Daniel said F chugs. If none, I'm going to get him on.
So, the funny part is, despite what Jeremy says, if you put an F chugs, he views it as a sign of respect. He respects you enough to challenge his authority as producer of the show, and he actually likes when you do it. He might not admit it, but deep down, we all know it's true. He likes it. You like it.
I don't know.
So get your questions in using #Cowboys or by super chatting here for the mailbag.
Chuck Connors, whenever you get here, go ahead and hit live.
Yeah, if it happens more than you would realize if the connection's not the best, or if you scroll up or hit pause or something.
Pecan Sandy.
Pecan Sandy.
Pecan.
Pecan. Is it pecan or pecan? P for pecan.
I think it's pecan.
P for pecan.
P for pecan, P for pecan.
There you go. Get your questions in, #Cowboys or by super chatting. We'll get started as soon as Jeremy's got enough questions behind the scenes there. Brent says you're blushing. Your face does look more red on that with the lighting for whatever reason.
Also, Mitch punched me the other day.
Why?
So
did you deserve it?
No.
Okay.
Friday, we're doing slaps, and he has a plate.
Oh, and he punched you.
He missed with the plate, and he punched me.
That's what happened with on one of the draft shows. Sam punched me in the face.
Really?
Yeah. My nose felt kind of bruised for 2 days. Because he went to slam me, he missed. He just missed with the tortilla and only got my nose with his hand. So get your questions in, folks, for the mailbag, #Cowboys or by super chatting.
It's caramel.
Why are we doing this one too? Get to the mailbag.
All right, let's get to the mailbag. Tom keeps on wasting time.
Oh yeah. I'm
Stop wasting time,
Yeah,
Downey. Answer these people's questions. They want to know.
Let's do it. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. It is a mailbag. We answer all of your questions live here on the Cowboys Report. This filmed on our Monday live show. Now, it's not just the live questions we answer. If there have been super thanks that have come in throughout the week, we will make sure to hit them as part of the mailbags to show you guys some love for those that have come in all during the week and whatnot. So let's hit some of those super thanks here off the top from G Sound. Thanks. Haven't chimed in late, but I've been watching. I saw him in the live chat for today's show, too. Appreciate keeping us updated. All the best to the family. Thank you, G Sound. I appreciate that. You're very kind. If you super thanks, we will show you some love here on the Cowboys Report. It's a way to donate outside of super chats. You can just do it on demand as opposed to having to be a part of the live show if you're, at work or school, because, you guys probably have more lives than I do. If you donate, you can edit your message and we will give you a shout-out on the show as well. Big thanks to everyone who has done so here on the Cowboys, whether it's today or in previous videos. You guys are the absolute best. Stevens came in before the schedule release, so keep that in mind. He had put the over at 4 primetime games. We now know it's 6 primetime games you can have per year. Even before that, I would have hammered the over. There's no bigger cash cow for NFL audience if the team is good than the Cowboys. They will always get maxed out, and unless they're bad. Then that year they got a primetime game taken away mid-season. They'll get 5 to 6 scheduled ones every year. Jose Villegas, thank you, Jose. $2. 2 things. Who's wearing his own team? When are we going to see special guest Jane Slater? Jane's been doing her own stuff as of late with NFL Network and 105.3, etc. So still a friend of the show. We will always love Jane here, but she's doing big things for herself. Same with Bobby Belt, her co-host over at 105.3. And as for wearing 0, J-Ron Curse is rocking 0 this year. Not DeMarvion Overshone, not Micah. J-Ron Curse is Agent 0 in Dallas. Now, if you want to be a part of these mailbags, then you've got to be subscribed. Award-winning per my mom and Jeremy's mom as well. She's also given us some awards for our mailbags. Make sure you guys are subbed for free videos every single day. $5 super chat from Zeno saying, "Did the Cowboys do with Ezekiel Elliott what the Steelers did with Jerome Bettis? Put him in fullback. It shocks me how Zeke's not been signed. The bus was a big back. I actually wouldn't say he was a true fullback for Pittsburgh. He was a short yardage goal line back. So from that perspective, yes. But Zeke is not what he was in his prime. The game has changed where backs are not valued as highly, and that means there's been a bit less interest in Zeke, who I think he'll get signed. Maybe not for the role he was hoping for. Dallas and D.C., if you were a GM on the hot seat, which trade would you make for the Cowboys? Dalvin Cook or Isaiah Simmons? For me, it's Isaiah Simmons. Dalvin Cook is a declining player, and my hope is that Isaiah Simmons is still an ascending player. Neither guy I'm convinced saves your franchise or whatever, but I would have the younger, more athletic, and more impactful piece on defense than an aging back. From Big Nooch 69, what player or coach is on the hottest seat? Dak Mike? So you mean Dak Prescott or Mike McCarthy? I think in the end it's McCarthy and company and his offensive coaching staff, because the Cowboys know what Dak Prescott can be. They know that this team can and should be at minimum a division round team, win a playoff game. The goal is to win more than that. That's why the Cowboys have moved on from Kellen Moore. He and Mike didn't get along down the stretch there. But if the offense regresses, the only real change was the head coach and play caller. That was the change, not the quarterback. I think Mike would then have the pressure on him, which I think is the correct mindset to have. So we'll do the Mike McCarthy rumors again because, you know what? Division round stuff works for some franchises, not for this one. Will Mike McCarthy be the Cowboys head coach next year? It's the pinned comment on today's show. Y for yes and for no in the comment section. Fulbright TV says Osa and a first for Quinnen Williams. It's a good trade package to offer. I would do that right this second. I say, yes, I'm in. Love you, Osa. Give me Quinnen Williams. I don't care about the first. I think the Jets would probably say no, though. That's my concern. From Eric, I'm excited in every position on the team, DC for life. What do you mean by that? That there's excitement on the Dallas Cowboys for all the different spots. This team's in good shape. You know, they were let's say top 6 team last year. Can they be top 4 or better? It's a very narrow margin for error. I'm hopeful it finally changes this year. From Lance Dunbar's burner account. Hear me out. Don't hit me, just think. We're off to a great start here. What about carrying 2 kickers? Sign Gold for inside of 45. Sign a big leg for 50 plus. Is there a rule against that? So I will be nice. I will be nice. Jeremy's laughing in the background maniacally. There's no rule against it. In fact, Dallas has done this before. They had Cowboys legend David Buehler on the roster for long kicks and kickoffs. The problem was he wasn't good enough. Look, 1 kicker is my number. I would rather carry another backup corner, a backup defensive lineman, than I would rather invest in 2 kickers, one of whom probably wouldn't play for you in half the games, right? Like either your short kicker or your long kicker isn't involved that much. So I have one kicker maximum for me. From Novu, sign Leonard Fournette. This is kind of in the Zeke category for me. I honestly might almost rather bring back Zeke on a one-year deal because Fournette was just as bad. He didn't seem to have the juice. Now, his offensive line was poor. I'll grant him that. I would rather look at a cheaper, younger, more juiced up athletically back than Fournette these days. Danny Donnells, what would you trade for Derrick Henry? I think I get a Derrick Henry trade question almost every mailbag. I get it. It's Derrick Henry. Not that much, honestly. It's Derrick Henry's still a good player, don't get me wrong. But I think that the cost of what I would move, like, a fourth-ish, is probably lower than what Tennessee would want back, probably at minimum of 2. Plus, I got to pay Derrick Henry $10 million a year, if not more. And I'm already paying Tony Pollard that this year. I can't invest $20 million in the backfield. That's too much money for the type of role that it would be. So when it comes to trades, have some fun. Put your trade ideas in the comment section and sound off right now. From Tyler, looking back on the draft, would you have drafted Dorance in the 2nd over Schoonmaker and Zach Kuntz in the 5th, 6th? Dorance provides depth at guard. Kuntz has size and athletic upside. I would have taken Dorance. He was the best player on my board, but from the Cowboys' perspective, knowing how things went, I don't think they would have changed it. Even if they could, privately admit it, I don't think they were that high on O'Cyrus Torrance. Zach Kuntz had some medical stuff, and look, you don't see everyone knows Kuntz is a freak athlete, right? How did he fall so far? Well, there's some doubts about making that athleticism into football field stuff. So, yeah, I would have done that. That's how my board was stacked. I don't think the Cowboys would have gone that route, though, in the end. From Jeff C., we love the moms. Happy Mother's Day to your mothers, Tom, Jeremy, and Patrick. Thank you, Jeff C. Hope everyone watched had a fantastic Mother's Day out there. Jeremy?
Thank you.
There you go. From DeLunatic, confidence level in a defense-led deep playoff run. This is kind of a philosophical question for me. How far can an elite defense take you? It does still depend on how good your offense is. It helped the Eagles out a long way. You saw how far the Niners got with their great defense. You can make it at least another round, I believe, with a fantastic defense, but you still need your offense to be better than it was against San Francisco. That's been your problem on offense in the entirety of Dak's playoff time. It's been the Niners that have given you problems, at least from his perspective on the quarterback. The ground game said, wonky issues in the past. I think you need a top 5-ish unit somewhere and still top 10, top 15 elsewhere. If the offense is, average, the defense can't do it all. Same with the other way reverse. If the offense is elite, defense can't be average. You still need good on both sides of the football. From Gregory, what do you think the Micah Parsons hunter will look like? Money, length. Length depends on what Micah wants. Phrasing, I guess. But if he wants a 4-year deal, he's going to get a 4-year deal. If he'll do 5 or 6, the Cowboys would love that. Micah Parsons will be, when he signs that contract, the highest paid defensive player in the NFL, in large part because I don't know if Aaron Donald will actually still be in the NFL at that point. It'll be Parsons and Bosa. Whoever signs first will get a little bit less than the next guy because Micah Parsons is a special football player. He's worth every penny. That is one you just give him what he wants and backload the deal because you know he's going to be on your team for the next 10 years. That should be an easy deal for Dallas because you don't need to haggle that much over the nitty-gritty. Just get it done. Now, who do you think is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys? I think the answer is Micah. I do. What do you guys have to say? Sound off in the comment section right now. From Fantasy Island, great profile picture too. No one is talking about Leighton Vander Esch. It's true. He's kind of just been an assumed starter, I think is kind of the way that the Cowboys and the fans at least view him. As long as he's healthy, I feel good about him being out there. He's very cheap for you. But if he's not healthy, it's actually a little bit concerning the linebacker depth. So I agree, Fantasy. From King Thaddy Daddy, Arlington won the XFL. Now it's time for the Cowboys to win. Is this your burner account, Jeremy? Are you sure? because you made that exact same joke before today's live show. Arlington did win it, 4-6 in the regular season. And then they got in because I think it was the East for the XFL or whatever it was bad. Just get to the playoffs, and some crazy stuff can happen for you sometimes. Preston Jones, can you give us an early prediction on the Cowboys' starting offensive line from left tackle to right tackle? Ooh. Okay. You're going to hate me for this, but I'm going to say it. You guys are going to hate me. We're going to go from right tackle to left tackle because it's more fun. Right tackle, Terrence Steele. Right tackle, Zach Martin. Center, Tyler Biotish. Right tackle, Steele. Right guard, Zach Martin. Center, Tyler Biotish. Left tackle, Tyler Smith. Left guard, Chuma Adoga, because Tyron's going to get hurt again. I know. I hate myself too, but that's going to be the prediction there. I would feel better if there's a different left guard in place. Maybe Adoga can be a nice surprise player, but a little bit scary for me. If we did not get to your question, it's Jeremy's fault. So DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, and I'll answer any that I get. Thank you to everyone who's already followed me, by the way, at WhatGoingDowney. Yo, Squiggly, Jeremy, are you a Sixers fan? Which basketball team do you follow?
You're really going to hate me for this answer.
What are you going to say?
I'm a Rockets fan.
Yeah. We got Rockets, we got Eagles, we got Stars, and Astros too, right? It's a unique blend.
Dallas.
Stars. Dallas. Cowboys. Got him.
Nope. Yeah, I'm a Rockets fan. Tank for Wemby. Let's go. Rockets #1 pick.
It's gonna be the Spurs.
Also, if you're an NBA fan,
Yeah.
we're gonna be live for the NBA lottery tomorrow. Check out as my Rockets get the #1 pick in the NBA draft this upcoming season.
I think it's gonna be the Spurs.
If it's not the Rockets, I'm gonna be in shambles. If it's anybody but the top 3 teams, I'm gonna be.
It's rigged.
If it's like not like anything
What's
past
the order?
5, I'm gonna be upset.
Let me pull up the order here. So the current lottery order is 14% chance Detroit, Houston, San Antonio.
Yep.
Charlotte at 4, Portland at 5.
Any of those teams?
Yo, what if Portland gets Victor Wembanyama with Dame Lillard?
So
they're maybe good now.
So behind my 3 favorite team, my 3 favorite fits for Wemby. Obviously, Rockets #1.
Mm-hmm.
My other 2 teams were actually Portland, and if OKC got him.
OKC would be fun.
I don't think they have a good chance.
They're at 12. They were too good this year. Now they have a bunch of other firsts they could try to trade there.
No, dude, but it's like the whole Caleb Williams debate. Oh, what would it cost to trade up #1 for Caleb
It's
Williams?
just not going to happen.
Nobody's going to trade
No one's
back.
going to do it. No one's going to do it. There's too much value and goodwill for your franchise to do it.
Because not every first overall pick is created equal.
Because whoever gets that first overall pick, they just sold out. Their tickets are sold out. That's too valuable. Especially for a bad team.
The Jags' first overall pick with Travon Walker worth nothing compared to next year's first round pick with Caleb Williams.
Yep.
You're going to be giving up the farm. I would say the only way a first overall pick gets traded next NFL draft, 5 first round picks. And I'm not even kidding.
No, I agree. And even that might be like we're good. It's the Joe Burrow conversation, the Trevor Lawrence one. Having that #1 overall pick meant too much for the city.
Wasn't there a rumor that the Bengals were offered like 4 first round picks for
Something
the
like
Joe
that,
Burrow
yeah.
pick?
I think it's from the Dolphins allegedly, and they're like, no. Which I agree. I agree. I think San Antonio would be a great fit for Victor. I think Pop would get the most out of him. Like that team's been kind of bad.
But it's like, who
But they already got one with Duncan.
Who do you pair with Wemby in San Antonio? I don't think any casual fan, and honestly, the only reason I know is because I played 2K and I played them the other day. I don't think any casual fan of the NBA could name 3 players on the Spurs.
You know, I would say you're probably right.
Like, they don't have anybody.
Keldon Johnson's a fun piece, but they still need a guard.
Jeremy Sochan or Sohan?
I think Sohan, whatever it is. Like I don't know. Devin Vassell wasn't bad, but like
He's okay.
But is Devin Vassell a key core piece? No, I don't think so. All right, back to this question. To this question, I should say, not back. Where does Micah Parsons rank among NFL pass rushers?
Look at the title.
I like that one. It's a good one. That's a very good. You were on one with the titles today. They're all pretty good.
stop
They're pretty good.
believing.
Where does Micah rank among pass rushers in the NFL?
And you don't have to give us a number. You can say top 5, top 10, top 20, top 30,
Yeah, that's fine.
top 40, top 50 if you think he's top 50.
Johnny G says top 5. I think it's very easy to like argue like, well, it's actually Nick Bosa, it's actually Joey Bosa when healthy, it's still Von Miller, it's Micah.
So
Like, it's
let me run off the top ones.
top 3 for me.
Let me run off the top ones, and you tell me which one you'd rather have.
Okay.
Nick Bosa.
No, is it just for a year, or for like the next 5 years, 10 years, or just right now?
Next season, you're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Nick Bosa.
I know how I'm going to answer these, so I'm going to go with Bosa barely. This is 1A, 1B for me.
Miles Garrett.
I'm going to take Parsons. And then Garrett is 3rd.
TJ Watt.
Fuck, maybe I messed up. I guess I'll take Micah because I backed myself into a corner here.
TJ Watt!
I backed myself
Oh
into a corner.
my God. He's so good.
Bosa, Watt, Parsons, top 3. Garrett is top 4. And then 5th is... Here's the other nice part.
What about this one? This
Here's
one's a sneaky one.
There are so many good edges right now.
Sneaky one. Max Crosby.
Yeah, that's a great sneaky one. He's been really good.
Who would you take?
I'm taking Micah over Crosby. I also think this is one of those, like, if you ask the fan base for each of those 5 players we just mentioned, they're all taking their own guy.
Yeah.
And because I think of all the spots in the NFL right now, edge is loaded with young and instant impact players. Both Bosas went healthy. Miles Garrett, Parsons kind of was supposed to be a linebacker.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson, I think could be a really good long-term piece for you.
And even guys who you don't think of as top 5, but they're still elite pass rushers. Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks of him as top 5, but what did he get? Like 16 sacks last year?
Something like that, yeah. Especially for like the regular season. Like there's been like Matthew Judon had like 15 sacks last year. No one puts him in the top 5, but he's awesome.
Yeah.
Brian Burns, I think, is going to be is a budding star down in Carolina.
As soon as that trade happened, I was like, Brian Burns is a Bear.
And
that was my first thought.
Moore. Ended up being DJ Moore. He had to thrive there. Like there is a lot of awesome edges in this NFL, and I think like of all the positions, I think stacking your top 5 or top 10 is probably the most challenging at the edge rusher spot. Like we didn't even mention like Bradley Chubb, Khalil Mack. Like,
well, Bradley Chubb had a down year.
Exactly, but like
he
weren't that far removed from him being in the top 10 conversation.
He was at half Chubb last year.
There you go. There you go.
Shaq Barrett, he had a down year last year.
Love
the year
him.
before?
Yeah. There's so much good edge talent.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is why just pay your guy now, or at least I guess next year as soon as you can, and be happy.
Lance Dunbar's burner is asking, best DT, Vita Vea?
Chris Jones for me. If you want the best nose guard, give me Vita Vea. Sorry, Dexter Lawrence. Sorry, Duron Payne. Give me
Jeffrey
Vita Vea.
Simmons?
He's a 3-tech for me.
Okay.
So that's the Donald, Simmons, Chris Jones, Quinnen Williams conversation.
But
like
you're
Chris
saying,
Jones had 15.5 sacks by the way last year. It's insane.
You're just saying like defensive tackle lining up over the center. Vita Vea's best
nose guard. Vita Vea. Yep. Give me that guy. I've always liked him.
Is that a one technique or?
0 to 1 is nose guard.
That's what I usually get on the side whenever.
This is a 1, I think.
Oh, one.
That's a 1 fade. At least I asked.
I'm gonna say that. I think they might have given you a skin fade. When did you get it cut?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then it's a 1.
That's why. So,
I was gonna say if it grew out to this, then you definitely got skin.
Yeah.
I usually get skin fade, and this is after a week.
Yeah.
My hair grows insane.
Most people coming in like number 3 or top 3, somewhere in that range. Like, if you want to cheat and rig the system of like you're doing a dynasty draft, and you're factoring in contracts.
I can't believe you really said Micah over TJ.
Look, I'll be honest. I forgot about TJ, and I already said top 3, and I backed myself into a corner.
He is so good. And just think, y'all drafted Taco Charlton.
You had to bring that up, didn't you? You just had to bring it up for no reason.
Hey, the Eagles. It's okay. The Eagles drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it happens to everybody.
More egregious.
It happens to everyone.
Reagor over Jefferson. Taco over TJ.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I might. There was.
Both of our teams, 2 of the most egregious picks in the past years.
I think there was a bit more people who were like, "Oh, Taco's better than Watt as a prospect." I think there were less people who thought Rager was better than Jefferson as a prospect, but it's not like by a lot. They were both just bad.
The Vikings front office laughed when we took Jalen Rager.
Yes. I in the end, I'm going to go with, I think it was
Was it Ube cookie?
after the cut. So I don't want
Trader Joe's.
I don't want to have Cookie Monster.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, exactly. But I don't know. Here's one for you. With hindsight, how about Chase Young, Jeffrey Okudah over Justin Herbert? Now that's just straight hindsight because no one thought they're gonna take him.
Ecuador man AOG says Taco hands down.
Yeah.
Best long snapper. Actually, fun long snapper news. I know Tom's a big long snap guy.
I scout him.
Former tight end Nick Boyle moving to long snapper
Okay, that actually makes sense.
for the Steelers.
Because he wasn't a pass catcher in Baltimore. He was just a blocker.
He's trying.
That actually might
He's
work for
trying
him.
out for the Steelers as a long snapper.
That actually might work for him. That's a smart idea because that's also a player that could maybe do some tight end stuff for you, and not just be a long snapper.
I don't get why more tight ends don't work on it.
It's too specialized in the end. It's similar but different as to why there aren't more kickers and punters that do the same. Like there are guys that try, but the motion is different.
I feel like if you're not,
and it just leads to inconsistency.
I feel like
on
if
both.
you're a blocking,
most tend to specialize.
if you're a blocking tight end, you should be able to long snap.
You would think long snapping's easy.
I used to long snap.
It's actually not.
Oh, it's not that easy.
Yeah, and I think.
But if it's like anything, if you practice,
Yeah.
shooting a 30-foot three-pointer isn't necessarily easy.
No, that's fair.
But
That's fair. All right, let's get to our final segment then on today's
So-
show. Some trade candidates.
a little
for the Cowboys.
coldy.
Let's do off the top for this one, since we did cold earlier.
Yeah,
There you go. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. Before we break down some trade candidates for the Cowboys, we need your help. Help us out by sharing today's video, whether it's on Facebook, on Twitter. If you tag me, at least on the Twitter side, I'll follow you back, and we'll give you a shout-out on a future Cowboys video. Help us out. Share today's video right now. The NFL draft has come and gone, and we're looking at some trade candidates for the Cowboys. Money's in pretty good shape because the Cowboys never spend big. They're going to get some more money post-June 1st from the Zeke release. But there are some players, whether now or maybe more likely in training camp / the preseason, who could be moved by the Dallas Cowboys. Notable names only, beginning with Neville Gallimore, who I think, and I firmly believe this, needs a strong camp to even make the team this year. The former third-round pick, the Cowboys would save $2.74 million with a trade or a potential cut if needed. I liked him. I thought this was an underdeveloped, underutilized pass rusher who could be a big impact for you along the defensive line. And we've seen flashes at times, but not enough of late. This TFL drop-off, the sack inconsistency, he's never become the player I thought and hoped he was going to become as a member of the Cowboys. And I think the Cowboys last year were a little angry with him. I don't think that they liked his participation in some of the off-season program stuff, and that's why he played so much in the preseason. Well, now he is firmly on notice if he wasn't already. The Cowboys have Osa Odigizua, Mozzie Smith, I think Jonathan Hankins, Chauncey Golston, Viliami Fehoko, a.k.a. Junior Fehoko, all make this team. That's 5 defensive tackles. How many are the Cowboys going to carry? Maybe 6, and that includes Golston, Fehoko playing some edge hybrid role and ended up moving on for somebody else, or if there's injuries. So the numbers game is not favorable to a player like Neville Gallimore or Quinton Bohanna, but a 6th-round nose guard isn't going to bring you much of anything in a trade, and maybe Gallimore only gets you a late-round pick, but he's a more notable name that was worthy of inclusion on this list. So name a player, anyone on the roster, who you want to trade away. Sound off in the comment section at the pinned comments of today's show. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Let's talk Dorance Armstrong. And had the Cowboys taken an edge early, I think they would have shopped him heavily during the draft. They did not. They took an edge defensive line hybrid in Fehoko. And I think it's now more likely than not that Dorance Armstrong sticks on this team for me. Although there are big savings 4.25, 5.75 pre and post June 1st in the event they decide to trade him. What this comes down to for me is which Dorance Armstrong shows up. Will the real DA please stand up for me? The back half of 2021 and the beginning part of 2022, Dorance Armstrong was trending towards double-digit sacks easily in those two halves of the season. It's outside of that roughly year sample size that hasn't been that great. Now, he's a bit banged up last year. Hope he's healthy and plays well. 8 sacks, 7 TFLs, 30 pressures. That dude is a Pro Bowl edge rusher. Half a sack, 2 TFLs, hits and pressures cut beyond half. That's not valuable to me. Obviously, Micah's going to play a ton of defensive end for you. DeMarcus Lawrence. They re-signed Dante Fowler. They have Sam Williams. They gave decent UDFA money to Tyrus Sweet. I like Darrell Johnson as UDFA out of Mississippi State and Ole Miss, respectively. Dorance Armstrong is a very good special teamer, and that matters a lot for this team as well. So I think he sticks around. But I'm a little bit unconvinced that the flashes are going to be consistent enough for him to be maintained as defensive end 3. Kind of want to see Sam Williams get some more reps. But if he flashes some UDFA's flash, the Cowboys have the flexibility to at least consider an Armstrong trade, who has been better the past 2 years. I'm down to keep him, but it's kind of a pivotal year for him this year. Speaking of flexibility, Bird Dog shorts are the best ones out there. Go to birddogs.com and use promo code CHAT for a free Yeti tumbler with your purchase. I have yet to find a better pair of shorts or pants out there than Bird Dogs, whether you are at work, lounging at home, out on the golf course, if you're like me, out and about on the town, getting drinks, having a fun summer, whatever it is. Fit, comfort, versatility, they are the best in those 3 categories and all the ones that kind of tie into it. They hug your legs in all the right places. They still allow for freedom of movement. If you're looking for some shorts for the summer, Bird Dogs are the best possible ones out there. Get your free Yeti style tumbler at birddogs.com with promo code CHAT. Try them out for yourself. I promise you, you will not regret them. My favorite part, as weird as it is, beyond like just the comfort, and I feel like I can wear them wherever I'm at, on the side, you know, most pants, right? The pockets on the very, very back, it's actually a bit on the side for Bird Dog. So instead of actually sitting on your wallet or keys or whatever and being all uncomfortable, it's on the side of it to increase your comfort and flexibility. Birddogs.com, promo code CHAT. Links in the comments section and in the description of today's show. Happy to have Bird Dogs here as a sponsor of the Cowboys Report. All right, let's talk Jalen Tolbert. This one's dicey. Not much to be saved right now. A little bit more after June 1st, just under $1 million there. This comes down to how much more patient the Cowboys will be. Remember where this team was last year. They moved on from Amari Cooper. They let Cedric Wilson go. Michael Gallup was not right, and they were in dire need of wide receiver help, especially in week 1, and they played a undrafted rookie who they cut 3 weeks later over their 3rd-round pick. Jalen Tolbert, for whatever reason, was not ready to play NFL football. He just didn't have confidence. He seemed overwhelmed. And if that is corrected, there is talent. But if he shows up to camp and OTAs and training camp and preseason just doesn't look good out there, man, that's going to be a real red flag. And at that point, Dallas might go, you know what, we have to kind of cut our losses here. I like Tolbert a lot coming out of South Alabama. I know the Cowboys almost took him in round 2. It was between Tolbert and Sam Williams. And they got lucky and Tolbert filled him in the 3rd round. And then he was a disaster in year 1. I'm not out on him, but if your confidence is shaken, I get it. So do you still believe in Jalen Tolbert? Y for yes, N for no. Go ahead and sound off in the comment section if you still have some belief in the 2nd-year receiver out of South Alabama. Jordan Lewis is next up here. This one I've seen many of you mention before, and it makes sense, right? You save 4.7 with a trade. He can still be a good nickel corner for you. And the Cowboys have a lot more bodies at corner than what they were accustomed to in previous years. And I think on some level, Dallas is going, hey, we lost a lot of guys last year. And when Anthony Brown and Jourdan Lewis got hurt, they were trying everything out there. And I think they did miss having Jourdan Lewis on this Cowboys team. If they could find a decent trade value, and if younger players impress, then maybe they move on. Because Israel Mukuamu can play some nickel, some corner for you. You have a really good top three, and I think Bland starts over Jourdan Lewis. Bland outplayed Lewis. That's where we're at. But Deshaun Wright, who we'll get to, Kelvin Joseph, 6th-round pick Eric Scott, and Lewis, not all those guys are going to make this team. Somebody's got to go. I think it might be some of your recent draft picks that go before Jourdan Lewis does, though. Now, if you want daily videos on everything going on around America's team, hit that sub button right now. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. News, rumors, trades, mailbags, watch parties, everything else in between, we've got you covered. Hit that sub button right now here on the Cowboys Report. I put Deshaun Wright as my last player on here, the 5th player on this list. Some savings money, not a lot. You're just kind of punting on the asset in the end there. Deshaun Wright, and we'll talk about Kelvin Joseph, I promise you, fall into the exact same category last year. Much like Jalen Tolbert, the Cowboys had a massive need at the position, and their recent draft pick, their top 100 pick, could not get on the football field. That is a real problem. Now, I thought Dallas overdrafted Deshaun Wright, but once you draft them, you want to toss out the pre-draft ranking and try to judge them on as a player. And Deshaun Wright can do some special team stuff where you're not great there. He struggles from Chidobe Awuzie syndrome. He's in decent positioning, but he can't get his head around. Now, the reason why I put Deshaun Wright on this list instead of Kelvin Joseph, I think Deshaun Wright has higher trade value. It's still probably only a 7th-round pick, but Joseph is a more extreme version, right? He did not grade out well for the Cowboys last year. Internally, his kind of player grades, they were bad. They were really bad. And you had a 2nd-round pick, a top 50 pick on your roster, and you were signing dudes off the street to play over him. I don't think there's any trade value for Kelvin Joseph, especially with what happened last summer. Hopefully he keeps his head clean this time around because that was a problem. Cowboys were very upset. I think Deshaun Wright, as weird as this is, has more trade value than Kelvin Joseph. I'm not sure it's high for any of those players involved, though, and that's a real problem for a Cowboys team that spent 2 top 100 picks on a corner and might have them off the roster this time next year already. All right, question before we go. Worst Cowboys draft pick in the last decade, last 10 years, which will eliminate some obvious answers such as Bobby Carpenter, who was bad.
Worse than Taco?
Maybe. It also eliminates, by the way, Morris Claiborne, which I think probably was a worse pick because of what you give up to get him, and he's a top 10 pick. Taco, for me, is the answer here.
More than Tolbert. Taco actually gave you something.
Yeah, but starting 1st-round pick versus 3rd-round pick.
What about Kelvin Joseph?
Kelvin Joseph, I think, is a worse pick than Tolbert right now. He was drafted earlier.
He at least gives you something on special teams. Tolbert doesn't give you anything.
That's a valid issue, but Joseph also makes a bunch of penalties too. He graded out okay on special teams. You're really bad ones, and I'm looking top 100, 4th round. Oh no, you missed.
Tristan
Hill, whatever. Tristan Hill's on that list. I think Neville Gallimore is probably behind Hill. He's been a better.
The lunatic says triple tie between Taco, Tristan Hill, and Joseph.
I would go Taco, Joseph, Hill, knowing that Joseph could change that. He has a chance still, but he's on his last chance, I think. After the show, yes, because those cookies look delicious. Beyond that, Chidobe and Jordan worked out well for you. We should probably have the Jalen Smith conversation, if we're being honest.
Oh, yeah.
We probably should be.
Jalen, wasn't he at the very top of the 2nd round?
Yeah, he was picked 34. He's definitely behind Tristan Hill. He's behind Kelvin Joseph.
Didn't y'all trade up for him?
No, they stood pat and took him.
They had the 34th pick?
He had the one good year.
How did y'all have the 34th pick and not trade up?
Because they were bad that year.
So they had the second pick in the draft.
They had the fourth pick, but then the tiebreaker stuff. They had the fourth pick with Ezekiel Elliott. I think that was the year a first-round pick was taken away too. But yeah, they're at 34. Disaster. If doing top 100, Chaz Green sucked.
What? For where you drafted him? Zeke?
That in the end
number
is,
4 overall?
In the end, that is just the running back value conversation. Again. Because as a player, relatively he was really good for several years. But if I had told you your number 4 overall pick is good, but gets cut after 7 years, you're kind of like, But put it this way. It's not the worst pick in the last decade. It is not the best pick either.
Oh, no.
It is somewhere in the middle, and it is one that you go, if you could do it over again, you would not take Zeke number 4.
But the thing is,
that class was not the best, but it should have just been Jalen Ramsey. Because what you could have done, it's hindsight, I know, could have had Jalen Ramsey, Derrick Henry. Could have taken Ronnie Stanley.
DeForest Buckner.
That class overall was it got a little bit thin afterwards.
You could have taken Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah, the Bong video. Now, I don't think they were looking at tackles at all that year, but it was Ramsey and Zeke is what they were down to. If they could do it over again, knowing what they know now, 100% chance that they take Jalen Ramsey over Zeke again. 100% chance. I don't know if, honestly, Goff and Wentz picks might not change either. Because at least they made Super Bowls, and they needed a quarterback so badly.
So this is the year the Patriots got their pick taken away.
Okay, there we go. For cheating, those frauds.
Biggest cheaters in sports history.
Mm-hmm. It's
right.
True. Yeah, in football.
I was just saying all sports.
Your 2014 class worked out pretty damn well for you. That was
you could have had
top 100.
You could have had Michael Thomas.
He's just the new Zeke. He's just always hurt. Your 2014 class was pretty good. Zach Martin, Tank Lawrence. Got a really good return on those two players.
Could have gotten James Bradbury.
Bradbury. Please call his name correctly.
F you.
2013 was Gavin Escobar. Thanks. Joshua Ramsey says, no, I'm not. I'm washed. He's Jalen Ramsey. Ebenezer Ekubon is in there. Yeah, but the last decade was our cutoff there. Otherwise, we're going back to Jason Williams and our 2009 all-special teams draft. Jason Williams, this is a who's who of Cowboys legends. Ready for this list, Jeremy? 2009, because they traded all the picks away for receivers. Jason Williams, Robert Brewster, Stephen McGee, Victor Butler, Brandon Williams, D'Angelo Smith, Michael Hamlin, David Bueller, Stephen Hodge, John Phillips, Mike Mickens, and Manuel Johnson.
Solid.
A horrible draft.
Solid list.
That is an F draft all the way through. That might be the Niners draft this year. Special team stuff. Nah, we're good. Only a little bit. We're fine there. We'll put 1 minute on the clock. 1 minute. 1 minute only. If Super Chats come in, we'll stay live. Otherwise, we will sign off here. End today's live show so you guys can go watch our
Dallas
rookie. Cowboys.
Stars. Dallas.
Cowboys.
Stars.
See, now I just want to look back at all the bad
should
picks.
Is it a curse that they should change their name to the Arlington Cowboys? Serious question. Dallas Renegades, not champions. Arlington Renegades, champions, because that's where they play.
Yeah. I'm also looking back just to the picks here, and everyone was retired of all the picks out of the NFL except for Tyron Smith, 2011, and then 2007, Nick Folk, who might be your next Cowboys kicker. By
whenever
the way.
you feel bad about your team's
dead
drafts,
serious.
Whenever you feel bad about your teme's drafts, the key is always go and look at the Raiders' last 10 years of drafting.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
It
is a disaster. I mean, it is four good players.
Oh, and Raider fans completely know and understand that their team has been shit at drafting the past 10 years.
They argued with me a lot when the new GM came out. I'm like, these are bad picks.
And it's like, it's so funny because it's like
Leatherwood's a Hall of Famer.
it's so funny because everybody listens to things that Chris Sims and Bucky Brooks and these guys put out, which I'm not crapping on them. I am crapping on Chris Sims actually. I will crap on
He's
Chris
bad.
Sims. Not crapping on Bucky Brooks though. Chris Sims, shit on him. Everybody listens to what these guys say and they're like, oh yeah, we can't get this guy, or we can't. Why did we take this guy? Chris Sims didn't even like him. And you have Mike Mayock, who went to the Raiders and was awful at drafting.
Let me pull up Chris Sims's. What year was it? I think it was the 2020.
Oh, he had Jalen Hurts as the 40th. No, he didn't even have him in the top 40 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
He had Kellen Mond.
Yep.
And
He
multiple guys.
He thought Kellen Mond was great. Zach Wilson over Trevor Lawrence. Bad. My favorite is Chris Sims' 2021 running back rankings. This was the Najee Harris, Javonte Williams draft, right? So I'm going to go out of order here. Number 5, Javonte Williams. Number 4, Najee Harris. Number 1, Travis Etienne. Number 2, Michael Carter, who was the Jets' backup running back, wasn't that great. And number 3, Javion Hawkins out of Louisville. And if you're going, wait a minute, who is Javion Hawkins? The answer is correct. Number 3 stands for all the different NFL teams he's been a part of. He is out of the NFL already. His number 3 back never made a roster. Falcons, Titans, Rams practice squads. He is now a CFL running back.
Number 3 on Chris Sims' list, though.
Yeah.
He had that one moment. Yeah. Just a reminder, we're about to head out. If you see me at the Stars game, you owe me a beer tonight. You are contractually obligated from watching this show to buy me a beer.
That's not how any of this works, but we appreciate everyone who has watched us here at the Cowboys Report, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow on demand and live again next Monday, barring more Cowboys news here on the Cowboys Report.